Welcome to the Uzziah Show, where being young, black, and successful is celebrated. I am your host, Uzziah, your success strategist. And as always, if you have questions about your business, your career, or your finances, then this is the show for you. So welcome, y'all. We back in the house. Thank y'all so much for joining. I'm so excited to be on here with y'all tonight because we got a very important topic that we want to talk about. So just as a quick background for those of y'all that are joining for the very first time, in 2013, I paid off over $95,000 in student loans 2 years after graduating from college. And since that time, I've become a best-selling author, an entrepreneur, as well as a real estate investor. But the reason I set up this show is to help you get to the next level. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about confidence. Do black men lack confidence? That's what we're going to talk about. And I want to open up the lines, as always, to get y'all commenting. I want to start answering some questions. So whatever it is that y'all got, I need y'all tapping in. Last but not least, as always, I want to celebrate your wins. All right. So if you've had any recent accomplishments, feel free to post it in the comment section below. If you have a business that you want me to promote for free, all you got to do is send me an email. So with that being said, let's start getting into some of these house rules. Y'all know we got rules for the show. We just can't get on here and act any kind of a way. If we're going to do this thing right, here's how it goes. So y'all know whenever I do this show, I try to give y'all as much free game as possible. This is to help you reach your goals and help you become the best version of yourself. But all I ask for in return is this. Number one, no bad energy. No bad energy, please. No bad energy. We don't always have to agree with each other. We don't always have to have the same point of view. But I ask that when you comment, please keep the commentary respectful. And let's keep it positive so that way we can uplift our people. Number two, keep the engagement flowing. Shout out to everybody that's on here commenting already. Shout out to DJ Collins. Shout out to my brother, Shevis Watson. Peace, black man. I need the rest of y'all chiming in. Y'all know I need the rest of y'all chiming in right now. Let me know where you're coming from. Let me know your city. Let me know your state. Let me know who's on. Y'all know I like to keep the comments popping. I like everybody in here interacting with each other. It's important that we know who we are. So please, 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 if you're on, make sure that you comment right now with your name and your city so that way we can give you a shout out before the show gets started. We got to keep the engagement flowing, y'all. This is the second thing I ask to start the show. Okay. Now, when we talk about this engagement, make sure that you cam up, y'all. You know, we got some regulars. I'm sure y'all familiar with them. Shout out to Ariel from Austin, Texas. Shout out to DJ Collins. Chesapeake, Virginia is in the house. All right. And shout out to my brother all the way from Baton Rouge, from the boot. The boot is in the house, man. Shout out to Louisiana, man. Louisiana is in the house. H-Town is in the house. Shout out to Lauren Morales. I'm already liking y'all's energy, man. Keep it up. It's so good to see y'all this week. We're going to get straight into this thing, all right? So make sure, y'all, if you're just coming in, make sure that you smash that like button. Y'all know you got to keep the likes on point. Okay, we got somebody from the UK in the house wanting to learn about money. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So happy to have you on. Welcome to the show. This is the place where you will be able to learn about money, business, all things career related, is to help you level up. So thank you so much for joining. And let's get into it. So when we talk about these likes, y'all, make sure that when you come in, you smash that like button. This will let YouTube know that you want to see positive black media online. See, I haven't been talking about it, but now, see, we already letting it become a challenge. We got 15 people on right now and only 5 likes. We are not even at 50% yet on the likes, y'all. Just take a quick second as y'all are joining in to smash that like button right now. Shout out to Ariel from Monroe, Louisiana. Shout out to brother Yasha Allah. You know he's a fan favorite. He's always in the house ready to give game to the young brothers. Shout out to Listen 77. Let's get them likes up. Shout out to the brother Shevis. Y'all know him. He's another fan favorite, another regular. He's in the house. Get the likes up. Get the likes up. Get the likes up. Thank you so much, Listen 77. You said done. Thank you for smashing that like button. All right, one last thing, y'all. If you have a question that's pertaining to your business, career, or your finances that you want me to answer right now on the show, make sure that you insert your question in a super chat so I can address it directly. Okay, now some of y'all then reached out and you said, hey, I don't have super chat. I don't know how it works. For those of y'all that are trying to figure out how super chat works, there's a $ next to the chat window. If you see the chat window on here and you are watching this live, there is a $ in the chat box. Just tap the $ and that will take you to the super chat. If you have a question, make sure that you insert that question in the super chat so that way I can see it and I can address it as quickly as possible. Now, if you want to sponsor the show, if you like where the show is going and you just want to be able to support the movement, then please feel free to drop a super chat and I'll shout you out also. The super chats is what keeps the show going. Some of y'all may notice I'm streaming from another camera. I'm streaming from a higher quality camera. I'm trying to invest more into this show, y'all. So by y'all supporting and showing y'all super chats, shout out to Esther from West Monroe, Louisiana. Hey, Louisiana is in the house, man. We might have more Louisiana folks in here than we got folks in Texas. So shout out to Esther. So happy to see you on. Super chat, super chat, super chat. That'll definitely keep the show going. This is the only positive black male media outlet that focuses on financial, spiritual, and communal empowerment. And if you don't buy into positive black media, then nobody else will. Last but not least, y'all, before we get started, if you want me to promote your business on this show for free, because I'm offering a free platform. Colorado is in the house. Shout out to Colorado. For those of y'all that want free promo for your business on this channel, all you have to do is send me an email to uzziah@blackmenscareer.com and I will feature your business on this show for free. Send an email. Don't put it in the comment section because we want to make sure that the comment section is about the topic. If you want to promote your business and I'll promote it for you all for free, then make sure that you get on my email. Send me an email at uzziah@blackmenscareer.com and I will promote your business on my platform free of charge. As y'all can see, we're en route to getting 8,000 subs on this channel. So if you want to get that kind of reach, feel free to send me an email. Let me know your website. Let me know what your business is about. And let me know how people can get in contact with you if they want to learn more. As y'all know, I'm always teaching how we must keep the Most High centered in everything that we do. So, as long as your business does not take away from the morality of the Most High, I have no problem with sharing your business. We've been featuring brothers in their credit repair business. We've been featuring brothers in their exclusive premium underwear business. If you got a business, this is the place for you. All right. So let's get into the topic. We done enough talking. Make sure that you didn't smash that like button. If you ain't smashed the like button already, make sure that you give a super chat if you haven't done it already. And let's get into the topic. Do black men lack confidence? Now, here's the thing. You know, people always talk about how they want to learn more about business. They say, Uzziah, I'm here for my career. This is called Black Men's Career. But I got a secret for y'all. People don't have business problems. They have personal problems that reflect in their business. That's the reason why I give y'all game on the personal problems that you go through so that your business can thrive. People don't have business problems. People have personal problems that reflect in their business. Your business is just a reflection of who you are. And one of the biggest personal problems that most people have is a lack of confidence. So, by you mastering the art of confidence, you are getting one step closer to running a successful business. Confidence is at the center of all success. When you get that down, it opens up doors to new things. Now, I want to start this topic off with a message from one of our great pioneers, the late, great Marcus Garvey. He said that if you have no confidence in self, you are twice defeated in the race of life. I want y'all to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. Confidence is the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something. Firm trust. The question is, can you rely on yourself? Black man, this channel is for you. Can you rely on yourself? Are you believing in yourself on a level that's necessary to get to the next level? On this channel, I constantly teach that you have to believe in God and you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in the abilities that God given you. All right. You got to believe in the abilities that God has given you. And one of the first things that I really want to touch on as we start this topic is fake confidence versus real confidence. Shout out to Kawhi, the first international support. Kawhi with the $2, not $2, because we're talking pounds. We're talking pounds, which is bigger than the US dollar. Shout out to Kawhi, y'all, for the £2 super chat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, and much respect. Thank you for the super chat. He asks, advice you would give to your younger self. Yes. So there's three things that I would focus on if I could start life all over again. Everything that I know right now, I would have learned it and applied it 10 times faster. I would have been a lot more guarded about my circle. And I would have only focused on one thing in life. Those are the three things that I would do all over again. And it's something that I wish that I could go back and tell my younger self. Let's first talk about that. Everything that I know right now, I would have learned it and executed on it 10 times faster. For y'all that might be a little bit older, how many times have you said to yourself, I wish I would have known this when I was younger? How many times do you pick up on something in life and you realize that a big reason why you're suffering now is because it took you too long to learn this lesson? You know, for a lot of us, we feel that we're missing out because there were certain bits of game that we don't know. There were certain bits of game that maybe other communities were taught as children that we didn't come to find out until we were grown. If there was something that I could do all over again, everything that I know today that's worth knowing, I would have committed myself to learning it and applying it 10 times faster. So what that means is there's so much information in the world today on things that you know that you need to be doing. Instead of procrastinating about reading that book, read it today from cover to cover. Instead of procrastinating about watching that tutorial on how to learn the new skill or taking the new course, don't put off to tomorrow what you can do today, because there's going to be a ripple effect. The things that you do in your teenage years, that's going to visit you when you're in your 20s. The things that you do in your 20s will visit you in your 30s. The things that you do in your 30s, that's going to visit you for the rest of your life. And everything that you do, the younger you are, is going to have a more profound effect on your adulthood. If you are starting to get in this game now and you are 40 or 50, it's not too late for you to get started, but it's going to be harder for you to move the needle than someone that's in their teenage years or 20s or even 30s, because they have so much more life ahead of them to turn the tide. If you're in your 40s or 50s, chances are you got a family that you're taking care of, you're stuck in a job, you've made a series of life decisions that anchor you in a certain place. When you are young, you have the luxury of experimenting with things. You can do things and take risks beyond what the average person can do. And that's the exact reason why everything that I know today, I would have learned it and executed on it a lot faster. Starting a business, I would have learned that and executed on that a lot faster, because you get a lot more leeway as a teenager than you would in your 30s. The second thing that I would advise, guard your circle, man. Because when you are on the road to success, not many people will be coming along with you for the ride. You might love your family members, you might love your friends, but just because you got love for them doesn't mean that they're on the same path as you. This is going to be something critical. Now, I want you to get this down in your spirit now while you're young. For you to have the same friends right now that you have in 5 years, that means that either both of you are growing on the same trajectory, or one person outshined the other and the other person resents each other because of it. Listen to what I just said. When I was growing up in Los Angeles, I had all type of homeboys that was on the block. And we were the best of friends. And when you are a child, you think that the friendships that you form at a young age is going to stick with you for the rest of your life. I can count on one hand with fingers left over how many brothers I talked to from my childhood. And you know, the number one person that I talked to, that I've been talking to for the past 20 plus years, a brother that got off his behind, graduated from college, went to law school, and became a lawyer. We have commonality because we're both striving for success. But the boys that I was with, that was on the block, that was staying in their mama's house in their 30s, going into their 40s, we lost commonality. We didn't have the same interests. You got to keep your circle small to block out haters and envy. You got to keep a circle of people that are just as driven as you, if not more. And lastly, like I said, number 3, I would have only focused on one thing. One of the biggest liabilities that we have as a people is we are talented and gifted in so many areas. I know how to speak. I know how to invest in real estate. I know how to be able to counsel in matters spiritually, uh, doing so many different things. But when you take on so many different things in your life, you become a jack of all trades and a master in nothing. The highest paid people on this planet are those who are masters in one field. They have learned a specific area in top to bottom, and their skills are always in high demand. When you look at the most impactful people in this life, they are known for one thing. Martin Luther King Jr., known for one thing. Malcolm X, known for one thing. No matter who you name, known for one thing. They're not all over the place like the average person. Well-roundedness is a hallmark of the average. What masters do is they focus on one thing and they spend so much of their life around it that you never think about how they perform in other areas. You don't know how well Kevin Hart can cook because he's not trying to put that on display. You don't know how well Warren Buffett can play golf because all he's showing you is investing. So when you can take one industry, spend as much time in it as possible, you can become a master, and you need to dedicate the time to focus on that and that alone. So again, to recap, young brother, the 3 things that I would do all over again, and I did a video about the things that I wish I knew in my 20s. Check that video out as well. If I could start life all over again, everything that I know now, I would have learned it and applied it 10 times faster. I would have kept my circle a lot smaller, because you become the average of the top 5 people that you spend your time with. Many of the problems that you have in your life right now is based around another person. Last but not least, I would have only focused on one thing, because mastery comes by focusing on the one thing. So thank you so much for posing your question in the super chat. Shout out to Azaniah for the $10 super chat. Shout out to King Azaniah. I'm looking forward to the brother coming up tonight. He says, it is hard to be confident when there are so many obstacles that only hinder the black man. I want to get your feedback on that on camera. We have to be twice as good as the next man while being 3 times more likely to be killed by the police. That's heavy, and that's real talk. And that's the reason why I wanted to create this show for y'all, man, because I want this to be our own isolated platform where we celebrate each other and we encourage each other for greatness. And that's what the show is about. So thank you all for the super chats. Let's keep the super chats coming. Back to the topic at hand. Confidence is at the center of success. If you have no confidence in self, you are twice defeated in the race of life. Confidence is the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something, firm trust. The $1 million question is, can you rely on yourself? Rather than focus on everybody else and what they got going on, can you rely on yourself to get the job done? Because at the end of the day, you are the only person that you can control. Now, I want to talk about the difference between fake confidence and real confidence. I'm going to put this on the screen so that way y'all can see it. I want to outline what is the difference between having confidence that breeds massive success. Shout out to the brother Yasha Allah for the $20 super chat. Always a blessing, my brother. Thank you so much for the support. Y'all got to thank Yasha Allah for helping to keep this show on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to share with y'all the difference between fake confidence versus real confidence, because one of the things that I want us as black men to understand is that a lot of us project fake confidence. We've never been taught the distinction between the two. All right, let's get into it. Confidence, fair use. Confidence is a state of being clear-headed, either that a hypothesis or prediction is correct or that a chosen course of action is the best or most effective. Y'all know I be coming with my research. Shout out to Wikipedia. Confidence comes from a Latin word fidere, which means to trust. Therefore, having self-confidence is having trust in oneself. Arrogance or hubris, in comparison, is the state of having unmerited confidence, believing something or someone is capable or correct when they are not. Overconfidence or presumptuousness is excessive belief in someone or something succeeding without any regard for failure. Confidence can be a self-fulfilling prophecy, as those without it may fail or not try because they lack it, and those with it may succeed because they have it rather than because of an innate ability. Now, this is a mouthful, y'all, but this is very heavy. So I want to break this down bit by bit. There's a difference between self-confidence and arrogance. Arrogance is the state of having unmerited confidence, believing something or someone is capable or correct when they are not. This is when you are putting on and faking the funk. So a lot of us as Black men, we know how to talk the talk. We know how to make ourselves look larger than life. But you know if you're talking about a life that you're not really living. Overconfidence or presumptuousness is excessive belief in someone or something succeeding without any regard for failure. Now, this is somewhat similar to what I just went over, but overconfidence means you are so delusional about yourself in a negative way that you will set yourself up for failure because you haven't actually thought about what it takes to get the job done. You know, I know brothers at times that think that they're, the king of the world, but they don't have anything to show for it. Real confidence comes from you having a sense of belief in yourself with the results to prove it. If you are 30, 40, 50, 60, and you talk a good one, but you have nothing to show for it, that's not confidence, that's delusion. Confidence is when you can talk the talk and walk the walk. Confidence could be a self-fulfilling prophecy, as those without it may fail or not try because they lack it, and those with it may succeed because they have it, meaning confidence, rather than because of an innate ability. And that's heavy because there's a quote that says, "He who says I can and he who says I can't are both usually right." So one of the prerequisites to our success as a nation is the spirit of self-confidence. Now let's get back into this subject. So men with fake confidence talk more than they execute. You know, they got this saying, the loudest one in the room is usually the weakest one in the room. Men with fake confidence put their confidence in things rather than themselves. Y'all got to hear me. A lot of brothers gauge their confidence by the things that they have rather than the character that's within themselves. So if they have a nice house, they feel confident. If they're driving a nice car, they feel confident. But what happens when it's all gone? See, it's dangerous when you put your confidence in things, because when the title goes away, so does your confidence. Maybe you had a large position at work and you lost your job due to layoffs. Maybe you were impacted by COVID. You cannot put your confidence based upon something external. You got to rely on the Spirit of God, which is within you, to see the Spirit of God within you and see the abilities that He has put from within. When your title goes away, if you have fake confidence, then that confidence goes right along with it. When the money goes away, fake confidence goes away with it. You don't feel the same if you're not getting to the bag like you once were. When the women goes away, so does your confidence. Don't build your life around fake confidence. Build your life around something real. Now, when it comes to men with real confidence, they believe in themselves, not their material possessions. They let their results do the talking and not their words. I could always tell how full of crap somebody is by how much they want to tell me rather than show me. The guys that's really out here getting it and hustling, they don't have to do too much talking. They have the track record and a body of work that speaks for them. So when you have real confidence, there's no need to overcompensate or to showboat. You know that you have the work to speak for you. Write this down, Kings. This is very important. A lack of self-confidence is the father of self-limiting beliefs. Self-limiting beliefs are negative perceptions that you hold about yourself that blocks you from reaching your full potential. Self-limiting beliefs are negative perceptions that you hold about yourself that blocks you from reaching your full potential. So here's an example of a self-limiting belief in your career. Let's say that there's a six-figure job that you want, and you know in your heart of hearts that this is the job for you. But because you let the spirit of doubt creep in, you convince yourself that you don't have enough experience for the position. I don't have enough experience becomes a self-limiting belief. That's something that you say to yourself to talk you out of an opportunity. If you have a self-limiting belief about your worth, you'll always sell yourself short. This is a big thing, my people. Listen to me. One of the reasons why we are underpaid as a community is because we have a low sense of self-worth. So if you do not see a strong sense of worth within yourself, don't expect anybody else to see your worth in you. People are often going to judge you by how you think of yourself. If you think of yourself on a low level, people are going to treat you on a low level. If you don't have self-respect, you're not going to get respect from others. So we need to understand that lack of self-confidence becomes the father of self-limiting beliefs. And one of the biggest obstacles that I had to overcome in my business was the self-limiting belief I had about selling my products. I need y'all to take this down if you want to be future business owners. See, when I was getting into this game, I was seeing all kinds of guys that were making money selling their products and services. You had guys that were online, guys that had brick and mortars, guys that was making real money, and they were selling their products, whether it be in the hundreds of dollars. Some guys were selling their products for thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. But whenever people encouraged me to do the same thing, I would get nervous whenever they would tell it to me because I had a self limiting belief that I didn't deserve to sell a high end product because who am I as a young black man from South Central LA to think that I could go out here and make real money? I had a self limiting belief that I was supposed to struggle because the system isn't built for guys like me to win. So when I would tell myself that, I would work hard on my business, but every time it was time to charge, I would either give it all away for free or I would charge far less than my worth. You know, I used to have guys from other communities laugh me out the room, man, because I would charge like $20 for things that guys was saying I needed to be charging $2,000 for. No cap. But I was so limited by my own lack of confidence that I said to myself, man, nobody will ever buy this from me. You know, I'm faking the funk. I'm just a young black dude out here trying to make something. So if I could just get $1 or $2, then that's all that somebody like me is supposed to get. These are all self limiting beliefs that don't have to do with nobody else but you. These are limitations that you've developed from within. Right now, if you're an adult watching this show, you can't blame nobody else for these self-limiting beliefs that you have but you. You can't blame the government. You can't blame your job. You can't blame your mom. You can't blame your dad. Regardless of what you've been through, if you are a grown adult who's responsible for your decisions, you must take responsibility for letting go of your self-limiting beliefs. Self-limiting beliefs are paralyzing, and all of us have some. Some of us have it on more levels than others. And I would argue, based upon what Azaniah said just a little bit earlier, one of the reasons why Black people only own 2% of all of the businesses in America is because we have not overcome a lack of confidence that we can be the owner rather than the worker. We have yet to get over the mentality that we can be the producers of society rather than consumers. All right. So if y'all just coming in, make sure to like, make sure to super chat. Make sure y'all leave some comments. Let me know what y'all think about this subject. I know y'all hearing me talk and you probably soaking up the game, but I want this to be interactive. All right. This ain't a one-man show. So Lauren said, absolutely. Confidence is capable of moving in silence and without. You know, we got to be able to move in silence to get the things that we really want. If you have that sense of security, we got to let go of fake confidence and we got to get to the real confidence. Oftentimes we try to convince people on social media that we're confident, and we try to convince people through the clothes that we wear, the money that we have, who we have on our arm. But you know within yourself how you feel about you. So I have a question, y'all. How are the self-limiting beliefs that you have holding you back? How paralyzing are your self-limiting beliefs due to a lack of confidence? You will never get to the next level until you identify what your self-limiting beliefs are and confront them head on. So for all of y'all that are watching, I want you to leave a comment right now. If you want this channel to help you get to the next level, leave this comment. I want you to leave me a comment right now about a time where you talked yourself out of an opportunity. Maybe it was a job that you wanted. Maybe it was a business opportunity. Maybe a business you wanted to start. Maybe it was a certain female that you liked and you talked yourself out of it. What is a time? Tell me about a time where you talked yourself out of an opportunity due to a self-limiting belief. The whole reason why I have y'all doing this right now is so that you can take the first step of identifying your self-limiting beliefs and begin to work on it so that way you can do better. Okay? I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. And I'm gonna look at these comments because I want to start seeing what y'all got to say on this. If y'all are on, make sure you share this with a friend. Make sure that you get them dialed in as well. What are some of your self-limiting beliefs that you didn't even realize that you were going through at the time? But as you look back on it, you realize that's why you didn't get the job. That's why you didn't start that business. That's why you walked out on that relationship. What was your self-limiting belief that held you back? Okay, Kawhi says, starting a business. I think I have a lot of good ideas. I just never take action. Now, you know the reason why I like Kawhi's response? Because the first question to this response is why? Why do you never take action? This question is so critical because you have to unpack all of the layers behind your self-limiting beliefs. See, right here, Kawhi doesn't know it, but he's not going deep enough into what is truly holding him back. Why is it that you don't take action? Is it because you don't believe in yourself? So you don't try your hand at something because you think that you might fail? Is it because maybe you had a father or a mother that told you that you could never be successful in business? This is where you need to start asking yourself, this doesn't happen. Why doesn't it happen? See, it's not enough, my people, for y'all to talk about what's not happening. You have to talk about why. Like, I'm gonna give another example. Look at what Mayshar just said. Shout out to Lady May. She said, I suffer from analysis paralysis. Why do you suffer from analysis paralysis? See, this is the reason why we have to confront our self-limiting beliefs head on. So when I went through this, okay, do y'all notice when I was talking about why I wasn't selling my products on a level that I should have been, I came to that realization, but I had to ask myself, why was I not selling on a level that I was supposed to? I wasn't selling on a level that I was supposed to because I had a self-limiting belief that young Black men that come from my neighborhood are supposed to struggle. We are not supposed to be out here winning like you see guys from other communities. I had to I didn't have to confront why I wasn't selling. I had to confront my negative perceptions about my upbringing, because once I can confront my negative perceptions about my upbringing, that's when I will feel comfortable with selling. See, a lot of y'all, you look at the selling part and say, okay, well, just close your eyes and throw a number out there. No, it doesn't work like that. Because even if you get on a sales call, if you don't believe in yourself enough, the sale is not going to happen. You're not going to speak with confidence. And if you don't speak with confidence during a business sale, there's no way that the customer is going to buy from you. You have to believe in your product the most before anybody else will. So the reason why I'm telling y'all this is because this is the emotional heavy lifting that is required prior to running your business successfully. Before you can do anything in the spirit of ownership, you first have to take ownership of the reason why you're not doing the things that you want to do to succeed. Okay, let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. Why do these things happen? Okay, Love Music said, before I committed to being an artist and producer, I always told myself I could never be more than the producer. See, that then becomes a self limiting belief. That's when somebody puts a limitation on themselves. It has nothing to do with intelligence. It has nothing to do with time. It has nothing to do with money. It has everything to do with right here. Okay. So I just want y'all to think about this because we all have self-limiting beliefs that we have to get over. We have to confront it. Now, back to the topic. Some of y'all are in environments that program new self-limiting beliefs in your brain every single day. Some of y'all are in circles of people that program a self-limiting belief that if you make money, you're the devil. Some of you are in circles that program a self-limiting belief that if you try to focus on your health, get your weight together, that you must be vain, egotistic, superficial. You put yourself in an environment where you cannot grow. It's like you're a shark and you are in a very small tank where only goldfish should be swimming, but you are designed to grow and stretch that much farther. You're never going to outshine the environment of your self-limiting beliefs. You are never going to go farther than that of your environment. That's the reason why I always tell y'all to be mindful of the places that you put yourself in, because a balloon can't fly if it's tied to a brick. Some of y'all, God created you to shine. He created you to fly high like a balloon. A balloon can go very high in the air above everybody else that's on the ground. But the balloon cannot fly if it is tied to a brick. Some of y'all got real bricks in y'all's lives. The brick could be a family member. It could be a friend. It could be the negative media that you're tapping into. We're going to talk about all of that. And some of y'all saw this already on last week's show. Let me give y'all an example of a brick. I dropped an article last week that showed you that 1 out of every 2 Black men in America are either in the middle class or beyond. The fact that most of us as Black men don't know that represents that brick. The fact that most of us go through our lives believing that us as a people are all poor, are all broke, are all in the ghetto, that then becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You tell this to yourself over and over, and as a result, you're going to mimic what it is that you say. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna deal with that. Y'all know I always bring scriptures. I always try to come with this. All right. I want us to go to the book real quick because y'all think I'm just up here talking and I'm waiting to still see some of these comments. This is Proverbs chapter 23 and verse 7. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If you think that you're supposed to be broke, you're going to be broke. If you think that you can accomplish better, you're going to put in the effort. The reason why a lot of us don't do better is because we don't believe that we can. And as a result, you don't try. You give up before you even started. This is the reason why we have to weed out our self-limiting beliefs. You got to take these self-limiting beliefs And you have to create new beliefs to replace it, beliefs that will propel you rather than hold you back. Lauren Morales says, I had a full ride to Rice University, but I thought I needed a full-time job to support my family. Man, that's heavy. I told myself I couldn't have both. Notice what she said right there. I told myself I couldn't have both. See, it wasn't Rice that told that to her. She told it to herself. I told myself I couldn't have both. It had to be, all it had to be was a simple conversation with my counselor about my options. See, there was nobody holding her back in that moment but herself. She had a full ride. Y'all know how many people go through college like me with $100,000 in student loans? See, this is the power of the mind. And this be the reason why, before we start talking about, should you invest in index funds or mutual funds, we talk about how to get rid of self-limiting beliefs. Before we talk about, what color tie you should wear on the interview, we talk about the self-limiting beliefs that you have that explains the reason why you focus on getting a job rather than focusing on a career. Some of y'all, you only go for dead-end jobs because you don't believe in yourself enough to seek a career path. You have the intelligence, you have the work ethic. These other communities are working no harder than you. Let me tell y'all something real quick before I get on the topic, man. I'm a promise that I'm not going to go on a rant. I went to a $25,000 mastermind that consisted of business owners that were making either six figures or more. And when I went to this mastermind, I was so angry because I was seeing all of these communities of people who weren't the smartest, who didn't work the hardest, but they came from a background where somebody told them to just go for it. So I'm sitting in the room with people who know nothing about social media, don't have half the natural talent, charisma, personality, swag that half the people that I know have to be successful on social media. But the reason why they're going to become successful on social media and you won't is because they grew up with a mindset that they're supposed to be running something. They're supposed to be an owner in this life. We get the mindset, just supposed to be a worker. The system ain't built for me to win, so I can't win. We as a people, we're in captivity, so we can't do any better. We got to let these self-limiting beliefs go, y'all. We have to now start investing in our mind. Y'all, we all knew and we all saw growing up, our mind is a terrible thing to waste. And we really didn't know what that meant at the time. But boy, the older we get, the more it makes sense. Okay. If we're going to do better at this, we got to surround ourselves around other people who have confidence, real confidence, not fake confidence. If you don't surround yourself with other people with real confidence, they will pull you down and project their insecurities on you. Do you know what people told me when I told them that I was going to pay off $95,000 in student loan debt in a few years? They said, "You're crazy. I'm going to hold on to these student loans for the rest of my life." And I'm not talking about people that, make minimum wage jobs. I'm saying I know Black people that make six-figure jobs with six-figure incomes that have resolved in their minds, I'm never going to pay off this debt because I have a self-limiting belief that I'm always supposed to be poor. They have a self-limiting belief that I'm always supposed to be in poverty. I'm talking about guys that might have grown up single mothers, Guys that might have grown up, no male figure around to show them how to manage their personal finances. We hold on to these things from our youth and we never let it go. So it don't even matter how much money you make. It still doesn't solve your financial problems, because you could take a brother out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the brother. You can't get rid of the same things that are keeping you in a poverty mindset. Now, what are you not doing right now? Here's the question. Y'all with me? What are you not doing right now because of your self-limiting beliefs? How is your lack of confidence holding you back? I'm going to just put it out here for y'all. And I know I'm making it real uncomfortable. That's probably the reason why y'all ain't super chatting me, because you don't like what I'm trying to say. But I'm telling y'all, all healing comes with a tear down process first. If you go to the hospital and you got to get a surgery, before the healing can come, you've got to be opened up. They got to tear you open. They got to make cuts. So that way they could get to the best you. What are you not doing right now because you lack confidence? So there's who you are right now, right? I'm saying for 99% of y'all on here right now, there's the person that you are right now, and then there's the person that you want to be. A lot of y'all hit me up and say, man, how do you have the courage to quit your 9-to-5 job and start your own business? Man, how do you have the courage to, as soon as you get this money, you put all of it towards an investment and you don't even know if it's going to go anywhere, but this is what you do. What is it that you're not doing right now due to lack of confidence? I need to see who's going to chime in on this thing. I need to see who's going to leave me a comment that's going to keep it a buck about how they're not where they want to be at right now, specifically because of some self-limiting belief that they have not confronted, that they've held on to, and it's holding them back. Let's get into it. Some of y'all may have a thought that, you know what, I want to start a business, but I haven't done it yet because I have a fear of failure. Some of y'all may want a better job, but you have a fear of rejection. Some of y'all want to invest, but you have a fear that the market is going to crash and you're going to lose all of your money, so you just keep it all to yourself. What are you doing right now? What is it that you're struggling with as a self-limiting belief that's stopping you from getting to where you really want to get? Now, while y'all are telling me these comments, because I'm waiting to see them so I could put them on the screen, and none of y'all trying to put yourselves out there like that, but these things are critical to your success. While y'all are making these comments, I'm going to walk through the 3 keys to overcoming lack of confidence. The first key is to erase your memory completely. Some of you are being held back in terms of your money, in terms of your career, in terms of your relationship, because you're so focused on the past that you cannot see your future. You hold on to things too much and it paralyzes you. Like there's a weight that you hold from yesterday. And you never ask yourself, how heavy is yesterday? If I go to the gym, right, and I'm looking at a dumbbell, I'm looking at how much that dumbbell weighs before I pick it up. But y'all never put on a scale how much yesterday's trauma cost. You never put on a scale. How much does what happened to me 5 years ago? How heavy is that? How heavy is 10 years ago? How heavy is me carrying 5, 10, 15 years ago and yesterday on my shoulders all at once? Some of y'all are, okay, the reason why you can't step forward is because you got things on you that weighs a ton. You're tied to these things so strong you can't even take a step forward because it's so heavy. The first thing that you got to do is you got to let go of the things that you can keep holding on to. You let it discourage you on such a level that you don't even try. So when you take a shot in life and you miss, you stop shooting. But you look at every successful basketball player that has any stellar game, they're going to miss shots and they're going to keep shooting until they make it. Look at baseball players. Like, for any of y'all that watch baseball, you know that if you bat at a .300 level, you are an all-star baseball player. That means you're an all-star player if you hit it 3 out of 10 times. Successful baseball players, they don't allow the 7 strikeouts to dictate them not swinging the 3 home runs. They know that it's coming. It's just a numbers game. But when you hold on to it so much, you don't even attempt to get ahead. If you lost today, you can win tomorrow. If you lost yesterday, you can win today. We got to stop holding on to these things, y'all. We got to erase our memory completely. Just focus on what's right in front of you. Don't focus on yesterday. You can't get points today for how many points you scored in yesterday's game. You cannot get points tomorrow for yesterday's game. Erase your memory completely. Second thing, honor your commitments. It's as simple as this. Every time you tell yourself that you're going to do something and you do it, you build confidence. Every time that you tell yourself that you're going to do something and you don't do it, you lose confidence in yourself. So make sure that you honor your commitments at all times, because your competence will be your confidence. When you start checking things off the list one by one in a day that you promised yourself that you would do, you approach the next day with more confidence and more confidence and more confidence. But when you go through every single day procrastinating and telling yourself, maybe one day I'll do this, you know what you're drilling in your subconscious? I'm not good enough to do this. I don't have what it takes to make this happen. I'm telling myself tomorrow because tomorrow never comes. The only thing that I have is today. So you got to honor your commitments. The third thing that I want us to focus on, and we're about to open the lines up right here. I'm about to put the cam up link just for y'all. I need y'all cam up. All right. When you see it in the comment section and it says cam up, tap that link. Make sure that you get on the screen. Okay. One thing that stops us is the fact that we play things small. So what I want you to do, if you really are sincere about making commitments or building self-confidence, is making commitments to doing things that you don't know how to do. The completion of it forces you to appreciate the value of having confidence in yourself. Y'all don't hear me. Let me share with y'all something real quick, though. I'm going to put it on the screen. I want you to see it. See, when we go through this show, there's going to be times where we study the success of other communities. So that way we can take bits of game on things that we need to be doing for our own people in order to win. And I'm going to show it to you right now. Man, let's pop up. Okay. The incredible reason why Richard Branson started Virgin Atlantic. Some of y'all have heard of Richard Branson. Some of y'all have heard of Virgin Airlines, fair use. It says 35 years ago, Richard Branson was stuck on a tarmac trying to leave Puerto Rico for the British Virgin Islands. His flight was grounded, and he'd been away from his girlfriend for over 3 weeks. Needless to say, he was over it. What do you do in this situation? My answer is typically to lean into my fate and order a glass of wine, resigning myself to an eternity stuck on an airplane. Branson walked to the back of the plane and asked for a chalkboard and a writing implement. He figured out how much it would cost to charter a plane to BVI, British Virgin Islands, and how much it would cost each passenger if the expense were pooled. And then he went for it, walking up and down the aisles of the grounded airplane, selling tickets. On the chalkboard, he wrote $39 one way to BVI. Do y'all see how Virgin Islands got started? Virgin Islands got started because this man was stuck on an island and the company wouldn't take the plane off the ground. So he said, I'm confident in myself that I could figure out a way to get off this island. This was what we're reading about. That was the very first flight on Virgin Islands. There was no Virgin Islands prior to that. There was no Virgin Islands business. There was no business plan. It was simply by him being in a bad situation and believing in himself enough to say, you know what? Maybe if I charter a jet, maybe if I call somebody else up that knows how to fly a plane, maybe we could get this plane off the runway. And from that, that's how Virgin Islands was born. Sometimes you have to commit to doing things even when you don't know how to do it. And the reason why I say that is because us waiting until we have things down perfectly shows a lack of confidence. Like we went over in a Wikipedia, even if you don't know how to do it, even if you don't have the innate ability, confidence will get you there. It will serve as a bridge. And that's what Richard Branson did. He didn't know nothing about the airline industry. All he knew was that he was stuck on that island and that if he added up the number of people that were on the plane, they would fund the money that he would give to somebody else to charter a jet to get off the island. He just had confidence that he could do it. We got to lock into this, y'all. These are the secrets to success. Let's stop waiting for everything to be perfect. Let's stop waiting for the stars to align because society moves so fast. By the time we get there, it's on to some other stuff. You have to believe in yourself before anybody else does. And if you apply this to your life consistently over time, the success will follow. So with that being said, y'all, now is the time where we're going to get on camera. We got some new fresh faces on. I want to start off with the man with the master plan, Brother Azaniah, one of the elders over at True Spirit of Christ. AE, what's going on, man?
Hey,
Black,
Shalom.
black confidence.
What's the question you asked?
Do black men lack confidence?
Absolutely. They may be faking like they don't. They come off overly confident, but I definitely think that a lot of what you said today is is average for your average black men in America. We suffer from these different things. We lack confidence,
Absolutely.
real confidence. We might have that fake confidence, that false sense of confidence, but the real confidence we lack.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about some of your successes in life and how you believe confidence got you over the hump.
Got you. I look at success as overall life. Like it's not just about how much money I make. It's not just about the title I have. It's about the combination of all the different things that I put together for success. And so, starting with college, going to college, that was something that I was not given the confidence to have just by my normal surroundings, my family members, and things like that. But I took a leap of faith. I said, I'm going to do something that no one else is talking about doing. I'm going to do something that my average person in my peer group is not going to do. I'm going to stand out, and I'm going to go to a prestigious university and get my degree. And it was that thought process and mindset of I'm going to do it. I'm not worried about what someone else did. I'm worried about what I'm going to do. Uh, that really put me in a position to succeed. Um, Once I got there, things were difficult, but I kept that mindset of I'm going to do it. I didn't focus on, well, it's hard. I lack the money. I'm tired. The energy that I have is not there. I wasn't set up for the same level of success as the people in my classrooms. I just kept saying I'm going to do it. And I carry that throughout other aspects of life. So when it came to my career choice, when it came to my leadership positions in various organizations, even with the church, it's always about that confidence of I'm going to do it. I'm not questioning. I'm not worried about how perfect the timing is. I'm not worried about do I have all the resources in place. I just keep reminding myself I'm going to do it, and I don't limit myself by those resources that I just mentioned. The only thing that should be limiting is my belief in myself to do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I think, one of the biggest problems that we have as a people is just getting started.
Mm,
Like half
true.
the battle is just showing up and saying, "Hey, what are y'all doing?" Because when you talk about things like college, and we went to the same college, everybody had to learn. Didn't nobody have it down pat. But it's just seeking out the answers, right? Like how it talks about in the scriptures. Asking you shall receive, seeking you shall find, knocking the door shall be open to you. A lot of times we have a lack of confidence that translates into so many other things that we don't even look for the door to walk through, even when it's open. So I guess my question to you is, for all of the brothers that are on, and I need y'all to get on this line. Like, there was a brother that was on here a little bit earlier. I think his name was like Kydris or something like that. I saw you on earlier. Hop back on. Yasha Allah was just on. I want to make sure y'all are on. Make sure y'all cam up. What is some advice that you would give to our people on how to develop self confidence, and how you know that confidence can help change the game for them personally? Anything that you thought might have been beneficial to drop that you wanted to come on here and say, feel free to take that opportunity now and just let the people know how we could do better.
Yeah, I think one of the best ways to gain self confidence is to first understand what you're trying to be confident in and understand that you're not there yet, but then uh, analyze what it will take to get there. So, like, you spoke earlier about the fake confidence versus the real confidence. And so what a person with fake confidence tends to do is they say, okay, I want to do this. And then they with no research, with no studying, with no practice, without any of those things to put forth um, some confidence behind you, they jump into it, and then that gives them a shot to their confidence, because when they realize that they don't know what they think they know or what they need to know to really be successful in it, that really hurts them. But if you go into it with the mindset of I got a lot to learn to really be good at what I say I'm about to do, so I need to go study, I need to go and find a mentor, I need to go and put myself around other people with confidence so their confidence can rub off on me, and their understanding and their education and their knowledge can rub off on me. That's going to supercharge your confidence, because you're in the room with people who are confident, who are successful, who have done it. And now you have a support system of people who are successful and confident, and they can back you up in your time where if you were to make a mistake, if you were to fall, they can be there to help hold you up and help boost your confidence in that moment. Don't do it alone, but find the right people to put around you to help boost your confidence when it can get low. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Thank you for that. I really I really am glad that you said that, how you said it, as Anaya, because it really shows us that the spirit of building confidence, it's a cycle. When I think about the cycle of building confidence, first, it begins with a willingness to learn, a willingness to pursue, a willingness to fail. And as you go through that period of willingness, you learn things along the way, and then you begin to execute. And then as you execute, there are times in which you succeed. And as soon as you succeed, you develop a reassurance that, hey, I did this. What can I do next? Like, there's certain things that we accomplish in our life at times where we say to ourselves, man, if I could do this, I could do anything. When I paid off my student loans, I was like, man, to be able to pay off that $95,000 in debt, there's nothing I can't do. Even if it may not be true, just by you actually setting large goals for yourself in life and accomplishing it, it gives you such a sense of confidence that when you take on something else that may be just as daunting, you know that you have what it takes to get to the other side because you now have a proven track record of having done things before. And I think on the flip side of that, there's another cycle that's more vicious where you try something, it doesn't work out the way that you want it to, and then you approach the very next thing with pessimism. And I think that's where 95% of people fall, which is the reason why they do not live up to their highest potential. There was something that happened to most people in life where things didn't work out the way that they wanted. And as a result of that discouragement, that then put them in a subconscious state where they said, you know what? Everything that I do from here on out is going to be a little bit less because I don't want to experience the same pain that I felt when I tried to do this bigger thing and it didn't work out for me. You get a lot of that in life, man. You get a lot of people who go through one thing, they trip and they fall and they never get back up again. So I'm glad that you really kind of spoke on that, because I really think that's something that our people truly need to internalize. Just because you fail once, it doesn't mean that you can't get back up again and succeed. And regardless of how many times you fall down, that's a part of the process. If you're going to succeed, you have to fail. So don't let failures stop you from having a sense of confidence. Thank you so much, AE, for hopping on. Definitely appreciate all the feedback. If you got something else,
Yeah.
I'm going to bring you back on to drop it. I'm going to tie the brother Kidris back in just a second. Stay on with me. Brother Kidris, what's going on? Good to see you on.
Hey, what's up, you guys?
How you feel? Do black men lack confidence?
I don't think it's lacking confidence as much as it is just knowing, just as much as it is information. Just I feel like we're a lot of times just information overload.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
So I'm glad that you said that, because I got some mixed thoughts on that. Okay, here's where I'm coming from when I make this statement, right? I agree. We do have information challenges. And that was, I don't know if you were on a little bit earlier when I said that one of the things, if I could do life over again, one of the things that I would do is that everything that I know now, I would have learned it faster and applied it 10 times faster, right? As much as just not knowing it becomes a barrier, one of the problems that I also tend to find is that even when we're presented with all of the information in the world, there is something about the nature of people that doesn't make them apply it. So let me give an example. We are in the most information driven society that the world has ever known. There is more obesity now in 2021 than at any other time. There is more depression. You got more people that are on antidepressant drugs now than at any other time. You got relationships constantly failing, divorces almost at an all-time high. So what I'm saying is, it's like you have all of these tools and resources, right? Like if we talk money, there's all these videos on money. If you talk health, there's all these videos on health. If you talk relationships, there's all these videos on relationships. But yet and still, with the abundance of information that is set before us, you got people who have came and gone throughout civilization who didn't have a fraction of the information and knowledge that we have, but they did more with the resources that was given to them. And there, I feel some kind of way about that. I feel some kind of way. So I agree, the information does become a challenge, but are we making the most with the information that we have? Tell me what you think on that, and tell me how you feel. Like, how do you explain us being in the most information driven time in world history and us still having certain limitations? What do you think is the reason for that?
Who had like their own problems of what their limitations were back then, and we have our own problems. I think our problem right now is distraction. Like, it's so easy. There is all this information out there easily available, but there's also distraction out there, like easily available, just from social media. Picking up your phone, like, and you just end up staring at it for like an hour or something. Like, it's easy to do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's, I'm glad that you said that, brother, because that honestly is the key to success in the modern day. Ironically enough, one of the biggest keys to success for the generations that came before us is to find the information and then apply it. But in this generation, the information is already here, and the people who win are those who can take just a bit of information and block everything else out with discipline. Like if you're on YouTube, there are tons of videos about how to start a business. The people that win are the ones who say, okay, I watched this video on how to start a business this way. I'm going to take this learning and go as far as I can get. The people that are on YouTube all day learning 10 billion ways to start a business, but never trying one, those are the people that end up doing nothing with the information that they have. So I do appreciate the balance that you were able to strike right there when you said, okay, yeah, you know what? We have a challenge of information, and when we know better, we can do better. But we also face the challenge of a lack of focus. Let's take the information that we have and focus on what is most critical, so that way we can get the results that we seek.
That good words better than I said it.
Oh man, I'm just feeding off of what you said, King. These are all your thoughts, man. So, I always appreciate brothers like yourself getting on, man, because it just gives different perspective. I like to see young young black successful brothers, online. If there's anything else that you would say while you're on, whether it be a word of encouragement or just food for thought, what do you have to share with the audience?
I would just tell everybody, what you said earlier, like really believe in yourself. Like there's no success or there's no way we can strive forward without us being fully confident in ourselves, which is why this is so important for us to just be getting together and talking about this together because a lot of times like we don't even have this conversation, you know.
Absolutely, man. Make sure that you share this show with the brothers that you know, because again, kind of going back to your point of information, I think that one of the biggest challenges and one of the biggest opportunities for those who can take advantage of it is information curated in the right way. So let me explain what I'm getting at here. I think that there's individual value in Googling how to start a business. I think that there is more value when you can learn how to start a business live from a business owner who happens to be somebody that looks like you. You're getting a richer experience where they can answer questions that you might not have even thought to ask. And so the reason why I put this in the conversation is because, the reason I created this show is because as much as there is just general information that is online, there's a scarcity of positive black male media where another black man can tune in to learn how to be a black business owner and soak up that knowledge from someone that is a business owner themselves. Shout out to Caliber 8 Tools. See, it's one thing if you just Google, how to have a YouTube channel, but if you can get on and have live conversations with a brother like Caliber 8 Tools or myself, you might actually get to the root of the matter, which is, you don't really have I'm afraid to get on camera issue. You have I'm still stuck about what happened with my mom and dad when I was 5 to 10 years old, and we can work through this issue together issue. So I just encourage that as well. You know what I mean? Let's make sure that we get brothers on the show, because I feel that every black man in America needs to know that this platform exists. What they do with the information is on them, but I think that there's a lot of power in being able to receive this information in such a unique way. Appreciate you having you on, my guy. Thanks so much for your participation in Camming Up. All right, now. Okay, so now, before we get to Yasha Allah, we about to get you back on, Yasha Allah. As Anaya wanted to drop another point. As Anaya, we back on to you.
Hey, yeah. Appreciate you for letting me bring up this point. But in what you were saying earlier about failure, it really triggered in my mind that we always view failure as failure when we really need to look at the success within failure. You know, when you look at a lot of the great businessmen in America, if you read their story, they're going to tell you how they failed way more times than they succeeded. But in those failures, there was plenty of learning lessons. So they learned from trial and error. Everything that they did, it might have taken so many different steps to get that overall success. But within those different steps that they took, they might have succeeded, in 9 out of 10 of them. But the one thing that they failed at, they need to be able to count those things as wins as well. You know, and it made me think of a good analogy. I think you spoke about baseball. You spoke about how a great hitter may be batting 300, out of 1,000. So that means 3 out of 10. They've missed 7 times, but they still are considered successful. And what I can learn from a batter is that every time you get up to bat, you shouldn't be trying to get a home run. You got to celebrate the little things like getting a base hit, getting an RBI, getting a chance to steal a base. as long as the team wins and you get that overall success, look at the route to the championship. It wasn't always home runs. And if we can look at that in our business life and say everything we do is not a home run, that's not what success is, then we have a good chance of really succeeding because we'll be able to take the time and the patience needed to win.
Absolutely. That's an incredible point. And I think that one of the reasons why we as a people lack confidence is because sometimes we operate in extremes where we either shoot for the moon or we don't shoot at all. And when you study the habits of high performance people, a lot of their success came in the accumulation of small wins, as you said. This reminds me of a book called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And one of the things that book talks about is how instead of trying to swing for the fences every time that you're at bat, keep going for the base hits. Because by you doing that, you're going to end up achieving a certain hit ratio where when you swing at a good pitch, you'll end up hitting a home run in the process of that base hit. And a lot of times, even when it comes to guys like Jordan and others, there was a lot of times he was just hitting 10-foot jumpers. It wasn't, some out of this world half court shot. A lot of his points was getting racked up by focusing on the fundamentals and making sure that was down and just living out the compound effect of that success. So thank you so much for throwing in that point. Shout out to the brother Caliber 8 Tools for the $20 super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for adding a super chat in because it's been dry, y'all. We need the super chats to keep the show going. All right. So for those of y'all that are tuning in, if you don't know how to use the super chat, the super chat is the $ button in the live chat window. If you would rather use Cash App or PayPal, I put those links in the description. Also, you can see those PayPal and Cash App options right now on the screen. Okay, so make sure that if you like this show and you want to support it and keep it on the air, make sure that you give a super chat, Cash App, PayPal, whatever works best for you. The links are in the description. And thank you all, as always, for the love and support. Mike Bold, you asked if I could speak on a question, setting up a business from home that requires a super chat. So if you can simply leave a super chat, a Cash App, and put the specific question that you have about setting up a business from home, as I am doing, then I can pause the show and I can go into that specific topic as per the house rules of this format. All right. So just for y'all that are getting on, make sure that you smash the like button. All right. Because we got to keep these likes up so that way YouTube will keep this show online. We got to show YouTube that positive Black media is celebrated. And speaking of celebrating, shout out to the brother Azaniah, who just got into a brand new house. The brother's doing big things. I know he don't want me putting his business out there like that. I ain't putting out your address, King, but I just want y'all to know that, brothers are forward thinking. Brothers are making moves. So I just wanted to be able to throw that out there. So I want y'all now to soak up this game and hear from another perspective. I'm going to throw on our brother Yasha Allah. Yasha Allah, always a pleasure to have you on, sir. Do Black men lack confidence?
Shalom, big brother. Shalom, family. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Yes, I missed a lot because I was still working. I just finished working. So, okay. You know what I mean? And everything else. But like you said, it do lack confidence because they don't, like you said earlier, they don't even try. You got to try. I done failed so many times. I keep trying. You know what I mean?
There you go.
And then like the parents with the children, don't stop them for doing a lot of things that build confidence. That's so they won't get killed themselves, you know what I mean? But let boys be boys.
Right.
Don't do this, don't do that. I have my nephews running off and jumping off the doggone the porch. I'm catching them. They in my truck climbing, and these are 4 years old. Listen, let's let them be boys. I'm making sure they break their arm, and won't do it again.
Right.
And they get so much confidence. You know what I mean? You have to catch them sometimes. Hey, you know what I mean? My daughters, like, your daughter can drive a truck? Yes. I have it in my lap going down the road at the middle of the night. You know what I mean? And they drive, and they got the confidence. So we as a people got to look at the whole perspective as when they get older. We're not doing that. You know what I mean? And we're just so afraid. Or like you said earlier, build your credit. You sell houses, others sell houses, and help try to buy houses and get in real estate. I won't have good credit because you lack confidence. You know what I mean? Your confidence is you have to learn how to do it and get it up to do other things. That's anything you do in life. You know what I mean? And learn your trade, what you were saying. Whatever you into, learn it thoroughly.
Right.
We don't do that. You know what I mean? We just, oh, well, I get a truck like Yasharala, but I won't learn about tie-ins or alignment, you know, or 16 ply, 14 ply tires. And one of my, you just giving the people your money, because they'll take your money. I know for a fact from experience, they would take your money like, this is all it costs? You know what I mean? And they don't do that. But and like you said, my father told one thing, you surround yourself with people like yourself. If they're not going nowhere, like you said earlier about the 5 years, you're not going nowhere. That's the way it is. You're going to keep doing the same thing 5 years? That's all we've doing, man? Really?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have to, yes, friends going to come and they're going to go.
Yeah.
And like you say, one guy I know since high school. That's all. I'm 60. That's all I really know. Anybody else, I don't know. They still stuck in the same place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know, you bring up an incredible point, sir, because a lot of us lack confidence because it was beaten out of us in our childhood. You know, it's funny, man, when you see kids, you see young boys that are innovative. You see young boys that are imaginative. You see young boys who feel that they are invincible. But then it's like at some point, as they were talking about their lofty dreams, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a president. I want to be a business owner. You know, there was somebody along the way that said, you know, no. That's not for you. You know, nobody that's like you gets to do this. You know, you need to get in tune with the real world. You know, make sure that you don't dream too big. You know, we no child thinks realistic. That only happens after we've gotten life beaten out of us, and then we call our scars reality. So I'm glad that you stressed that about our youth, man, because when they're young, that's when we need to be really impressing on them. Hey, you know, you can do anything that you put your mind to. Us investing in the resources and the funding for them to do it. And like you said, when it came to the young boys and, you know, roughhousing, not letting them be so frail, because that's what we're dealing with in the modern day. You got so many people who are so frail because they've been so sheltered and they will never take a risk. You got people right now who might have been pampered their whole life, and as soon as they bump themselves, you know, on the road of life, they want to cry. They want somebody to come and coddle them rather than, hey, you got knocked down. It's okay. Wipe yourself off and get back up. That's a lesson and fundamentals that our young boys need to learn at a very young age, because that translates into bigger things once they get older.
Correct. That's correct. And about getting their hands, I was still working. I was listening to class, still working. Got caught in the rain, still working. It's my truck. I got to get it done. I can't pay them people. When they come to see you, since COVID hit, the prices, I'm like, what? You know what I mean? So a lot of that you have to learn, like you said, discipline. You know what I mean? I don't like the confidence. I know my trials and errors. I tell brothers, call me if you get in the jam with a truck. Call my up there. I know other brothers.
Right.
You know what I mean? I get what you coach now. You in real estate. I did it one time, a few times. That was it. And I learned from, like you said, the YouTube channels. Back then, we didn't have YouTube. When I was young, it was late TV. If anybody can remember, I ain't gonna say how old. I was 6 years old. But Carlton Sheets. Remember him?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
2 o'clock in the morning, you had to wait to get it. Call on the phone. With no YouTube. And I got it, like you said. There's no school to teach you to do anything. Right. It's a slave, public school to teach you to be a slave. You work, you do something, you get paid, that's it. No free thinkers. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yes, sir. I thank you as always for your contributions to the show, my brother. And you saying that actually is going to tie me into Lauren's super chat. Thank you so much. Shout out to the sister Lauren for the $10 super chat. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Please keep the super chats coming. Lauren asks, how can I ensure my Black children grow up with confidence in a school system that is ran on by separatism? I believe that is part of the problem. The fact that we have to have confidence in an outside system represents our challenge in the first place. You know, there's such a growing number, Lauren, of parents of Black children that are pulling their children out of the school system altogether, and that are doing homeschooling to ensure that their learning is as solid as it can possibly be. Shout out to DJ Collins for the $2 super chat. 28 going on 4 years welding. I don't want to get stagnant. Keep pushing, Black man. Keep pushing. Keep thriving. Keep doubling down on it. Continue to set goals for yourself. Get better positions over time. Don't stay stuck in any one position for too long. And while he said that, I want to give out a little bit of free game for y'all. The people who make the most at 9-to-5 jobs are those who typically switch jobs every 2 to 3 years. A lot of y'all, you know, you might stay in one job for the next 5, 10, 15 years, and you end up making a lot less money long term because you don't end up getting raises that matches the people who stay at one position for a couple years, build up their resume, and then seek out a brand new position where they will interview and negotiate for a higher position, and that will take them up to a completely different pay grade. One of the best ways that you can accelerate your salary at a job is to job hop every 2 to 3 years. It's not like in the modern day, you're going to stay at one job for the rest of your life and get pension. Okay. So just wanted to throw that out there. Shout out DJ Collins. Keep the super chats coming, y'all. I really appreciate it. Now, back to what Lauren was saying, or asking rather, you know, we have to really impose the importance of self-education. One of the pioneers of personal development, Jim Rohn, made a famous quote. He said, "Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune." The most successful people in academia learned at home and used formal education as a supplement. I went to school with guys who went to Harvard, Yale, Stanford, you name it, and they were not reliant upon the formal school system as their primary means of education to further themselves in life. The most successful people that I know from more established communities than ours had parents who had in-house tutors. They had mentors that were teaching their kids things that the child could have really been successful at. And many of those mentors were already thriving in their career path by them having an internal education system separate from the public school system. Once it was time to get letters of recommendations to apply to prestigious colleges, they were just taking the word of their mentors along with their networking capabilities, and they were using that to get their foot in the door in these universities that we wanted to get in. A lot of wealthy people, and this is something else I want to put our community on game on. The middle class goes to college for education. Rich people take their kids to school for networking. The middle class goes to school for education. The wealthy people of the world go to school for networking. Let me outline the difference. The middle class sends their kids to school because the school system is going to be the one to teach their children. For us, we have been stereotyped as having the teachers teach the boys things that really should have come from the mother and father. But if the school teacher ain't teaching it, we're never going to know it. When you look at the upper class, we're talking about the habits of the 1%. They already have an infrastructure where their children are being taught business ownership, skills and trades, along with a host of other social skills in their own independent system before or after they go to school. They are not using the public school system as a make or break on their success. For them, it is simply a supplement to get to a destination that they already plan on going. So a lot of times when we talk about putting our kids through school, especially by the time that we get to college, we'll really grow up thinking, hey, you know, you got to go to college because college is what's going to help you get a good job. When you look at the top 1%, the whole reason why they send their kids to specific schools is because they want to put them in a network of people who have access to resources that will create new opportunities for them and their families after they graduate. So we will graduate from school. We'll tell our kids to, study hard and hit the books all day. And we'll say, hey, graduate. And then you'll graduate, working at a job that's not going to pay you the full value of what you're worth. Meanwhile, when you have the 1% that sends their kids to school, they're going to be very strategic about where they send their child, not so much for the education, because they know they have an internal community that's going to truly provide the real education that they need, because we all know that the school system ain't teaching nothing. But when it comes to them, they say, okay, I'm going to give an example. I went to Baylor. I came to know Baylor because I was running track at the University of San Francisco, and I wanted to transfer into the #1 track program in the world. When it came to how the 1%ers got their kids in Baylor, is because you had so many other rich kids that were going to that school whose fathers were investment bankers, lawyers, doctors, and entrepreneurs. And they said, okay, if I'm an investment banker, I want my daughter to meet a guy that works for another bank. And if we can bring these two together in a relationship, we will own an entire banking empire. See, they're not thinking about, oh, okay, well, I'm about to learn a skill. They already got the skill in their own community. Now they're just taking the skills that they have and creating a network with it. So that's something that I want us to really, really stress. If the question is, how can I ensure my Black children grow up with confidence in a school system? You don't train them to grow up in confidence in the school system. You create a school system that they can have confidence in because it is specific to their self-education and development. They're just going to leverage the mainstream education if they are going to college, if they are going to a place. And the reason why they can trust in that is because they're not going to hang their hat on what they're going to learn in some outdated class on technology that people don't even use anymore. They're going and having confidence in it because they know when they go to the school, they're going to end up finding other men and women who come from better communities than them that can expose them to resources and opportunities that they may have never had growing up. That's how we really play the school game. And to be honest with y'all, that's how I ended up with my wife, Ariel. I would have never met Ariel in South Central. Never, ever, ever would have met Ariel in South Central LA a day in my life. I met Ariel because she came from a small remnant of our community who sacrificed to get their daughter in a prestigious institution. And upon going to that institution, I had access to a caliber of men and women who represented a Black community that was more sophisticated than what I knew growing up. So I graduated from Baylor with $100,000 in debt. Ariel graduated with $0 in debt because she had a father who was an elite salesman of software that paid off her tuition so she would not owe anything. Just in the act of going to the school, that put me in a very privileged position to be in a promising Black marriage with a woman that came from a very solid background. So this is how the different folks play the game, but I didn't know that until I went to a university where the 1%ers got down. So these are all things that we got to know and understand if we want to further ourselves. Ariel herself said, so true. They do use schools for networking, and they teach the children at home and through internships, international trips, mentoring, etc. So that's a distinction, my people. We got to really start tapping into the habits of the top 1%. That's the reason why I give you all a lot of this game, so you can take it and run with it. All right. So if you're just joining, once again, welcome to the Uzziah Show. Make sure that you like. Make sure that you smash the like button. Make sure that you give a super chat to show your support and investment in positive Black media. If you don't invest in a platform for positive Black male media for our empowerment, then nobody else will. So as we bring this thing to a close, I want us to talk about business. Y'all know that's what we all here to do. Figure out how we could further ourselves. As I've shown y'all in previous lessons, Black Men's Career is sponsored by Webull. And one of the benefits of us having that sponsorship from Webull is that Webull is giving us 2 free stocks just to get started. So for all of you brothers out there who want to be investors, who are looking for an extra push to get into the stock market anyway, as well as maybe the crypto market, man, hey, this crypto market right now is jamming, man. You know, I don't know what tomorrow is going to look like. You know what I mean? I can't predict the future. But right now, my biggest investment wins are coming on the strength of my cryptocurrency investments. So the reason why I just share this with y'all is because Webull is a platform where not only do you get to invest in the stock market, you also get to invest in cryptocurrency also. So if you're interested in getting started, I'm about to put the link in the description below. I'm going to put the link in the comment section so that way you can sign up and get your 2 free stocks courtesy of Webull. All right, y'all bear with me 1 second as I put that on the screen. We're gonna get this thing rolling, y'all. If you got any questions, make sure that you put it in the super chat, so that way I can answer your question right now before we bring the show to a close. I'm giving y'all this last little free bit of help, but here we go. All right, so. Oh yeah, Cardano been on fire. I told y'all on the last show, did I not tell y'all I was a Cardano boy? Cardano been winning right now, and I've been on board with Cardano since it was at $1 a share. So needless to say, I'm enjoying the success of that right now. But this is the reason why this platform is so important, because we give you the avenue to get free stocks. We give you the avenue so you can start investing in cryptocurrency. We tell you about the cryptocurrencies that's taken off. We tell you about how to be able to be a business owner. We tell you about how to be able to get a job. We tell it to you all right here. All right. So if you're down with where this thing is going and you want to see better for our people, make sure that you send in a super chat to support the movement. If you're not watching this show live and you still want to support, I've put a Cash App and a PayPal link for you below. Okay, so we talked about the Webull. You get your 2 free stocks just by signing up. Also, I want to tell y'all about ways that we can work together further. Now, a lot of y'all, you watch the show, you say, man, I love the show. I love all the free game that you're giving. Is there anything that you offer so that way I could work with you more closely? If you want to work with me more closely as a way of saying thank you for being on tonight's show, I'm giving you exclusive access to a free 14-day trial into my 12-month elite coaching program called Your Breakthrough Year. Your Breakthrough Year is a coaching program that I've designed to help you have the most impactful year of your life. In this program, I show you how to reach your goals, how to make more money, and how to maximize your productivity. So if you're looking for a step-by-step process to reach your goals 10 times faster, you need to be in your breakthrough year. If you're tired of feeling stuck in the same place and you want to do better, you need to be in your breakthrough year. Breakthrough year is for people who are trying to set the world on fire. I show you how to maximize your time management, show you how to be able to improve your money. I show you how to be able to improve your energy management, which is one thing that our community really underestimates, because that's tied to getting amazing results. If you want to have a breakthrough year, then check out this link that I'm giving y'all. As a result of y'all being on the show, I'm giving y'all a free 14-day trial. All you got to do is click the link and sign up, and then you'll be good to go. All right. So that is in the comments section as well. All right, y'all. So today we talked about, do black men lack confidence? And as I always tell y'all, this is all about us doing better. This is all about our empowerment. So I salute all of the kings that are out there that are constantly grinding to do better. This is to help us make that extra push that much more. In the next episode, tomorrow, get ready. We're going to talk about how to finish what you started. There's a lot of us out there that have these big goals and ambitions, and it never takes off. One big reason is because we lack the confidence. So tomorrow we're going to talk about how to finish what you started, why we don't follow through as a people, and some of the secrets on how to quickly level up, so that way you can get to the success a lot sooner than you imagine. A lot of y'all are familiar with the fact that in my 20s, I became a business owner. I retired from corporate America as an IT manager. I also paid off that $95,000 in student loans. And a lot of times people ask me, how did you do all of this thing in such a short amount of time? How did you become a best-selling author and an entrepreneur and a real estate investor and a church leader? How were you able to accomplish all of this in such a short amount of time? In tomorrow's episode, I'm going to give y'all some of my best secrets on how to be a finisher of things so that you can make the most of your life and help to create generational wealth for our community. So with that being said, y'all, if you want me to promote your business, make sure that you send me an email to uzziah@blackmenscareer.com. If you have any ideas on future shows that you want to see, I know y'all been rocking with me thus far, but if you got any ideas on any shows that you want me to go into, then make sure that you show support on that as well. Shoot me an email. Let me know what you want me to talk about, and I'll be sure to consider that for a future show. If you want me to promote your business, send me an email. Let me know what your business is about. Give me the website. Give me the details, and I'll be sure to plug for you. And last but not least, y'all, if you got family members or friends that need this help, which we all need, invite them to the show. If you're a business owner and you want the promo, make sure you're on live. If you have questions about how to be able to finish the things that you start, make sure that you're on live. All right. So let's keep working. Let's keep praying for each other. Let's keep staying focused. Let's keep building our confidence. And most importantly, keep pushing. Love y'all. Lord willing, I'll see y'all tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central.